right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Honcast here on Tour Season 4 Cycle 1 coverage. Continuing to come at you on what is the group stages and what is the final day of the group stages. After today, we will know the seedings, how things are all looking going into that 4-team bracket stage, as well as which 2 teams will be playing in the relegation match to determine their lives moving forward as far as the Diamond Division, whether they'll stay for Cycle 2 or whether they'll be dropping down to the Gold Division. So today, simply put, a pretty big day and a pretty big deal here for Cycle number 1, and looking forward to seeing what happens with it all. We definitely have some great matchups planned for you guys today as far as coverage goes, and we are kicking it off with the strong one, no doubt. Bad Monkey Gaming going to be going up against Reason Gaming here in a 2-game series. Both of these 2 teams, they are already qualified for the top 4 for the bracket stage. This point, simply put, they're playing for seeding. And as you see in the brackets here, seeding is a pretty big deal, as it usually would be. First and second seed, they advance on already to the winner bracket finals. They'll play each other. The third and fourth seeds will play in the losers bracket first round. Right off the bat, they only get one chance. They do not get a chance to lose there. They lose, they are done. So pretty big deal once again, and looking forward to seeing what happens here today. With that said, I am joined by my co-caster today. Going to be joined by Snooey. How's it going?
Absolutely lovely. Thank you for asking. Yet another evening of Heroes of New York action. Sure sounds great to me. And kicking it off with a series that actually shows a lot of promise on top of that. So doing really great here. This one in particular, Reason Gaming versus Bad Monkey Gaming. If one of these 2 teams actually were to win with 2-0, then they would not have to face Sync Esports. Or wait, never mind, I'm just kidding. They're going to advance straight to the winner bracket, I mean. And they're not going to have to go through the loser bracket.
Well, maybe, because this is actually, in fact, here, let me pull up the schedule right here. Obviously, this is the beginning match here. Both Reason Gaming and BMG are playing later on today as well. One more match. So, yes, that'll set them up currently ahead of the other team winning this matchup, but they will still need to play another match. Reason plays Complexity later on, and then Bad Monkey Gaming actually playing Sync later on as well. So, well,
for some reason, I thought it was like the Onslaught event. You know, when you have to play the first seed plays the 4th seed, the second one plays the 3rd. But obviously, that's not the case here. I can see now. So, my bad. Completely forget what I said. Move on.
All good, all good. Now, yeah, so the brackets there, they kind of show it. Yeah, it is a little bit different here. But anyways, the point is, yeah, seeding is pretty important. So the teams are looking to actually, obviously, win here. It's, I think, the ultimate point we're trying to bring up. It's not like, oh, we're already advancing on, let's just not even care about it. They definitely want to still win to set themselves up in a better spot for sure. So, anyways, here we are. The draft is already well advanced, so let's start getting into it and talking about what we got here. The initial bands, Magnus, Tremble, Clanks, and Kinesis. The picks, Midas into Moira, Glacius into Behemoth, Dark Lady into Parasite. Something I'm really noticing off the bat here, and we saw yesterday, banning the Clanks against good old Reason Gaming. You just want to do that. Quincy pointed out, I think now Imboboy is like 21-4 with that hero. It's just absurd. Do not let him get Clanks, I think is what you have to kind of do here now. So they take him out here.
That's definitely a wise choice here. Reason or Imboboy doing similar, getting rid of the Kinesis, and we've seen Boxy play that quite heavily or quite dominantly in the mid lane lately. So both teams definitely taking out some core heroes there. Now it's the Zenref. What? This early? Alright, I like it. I mean, Legion team is relatively squishy, so if you can get some good farm on the Zenref, then you're definitely going to be able to set up for a good late game. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to, I feel like Dark Lady counters Zenref pretty well at the same time. With that silence space, I mean, he's not going to be able to use the Curse to go through the Terran, and he's not going to be able to use his Marriage to escape either.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely a pretty powerful tool, no doubt. So it's actually interesting with that synergy there as far as countering more so of the heroes between Sandwraith and Dark Lady. But yeah, both are very potentially hard carry heroes, no doubt, in the end. So definitely both teams kind of valuing that here. You could argue, though, of course, Sandwraith going to be more involved, though, early on in the game with that Mirage, of course. So the last pick, Flux. Flux is a hero, honestly, we haven't seen a whole lot of. As of late. In fact, I don't even recall a game that we've casted, at least, that we have actually seen Flux here in Cycle number 1. So, Going to be in the hands of BMG, though. We'll see who he ends up being played by. But that is definitely interesting to see nonetheless. Bubbles to finish it off, though, from Reason Gaming here.
Yeah, I wonder why we haven't seen Flux being played lately. I mean, I wonder if that's because of Krake when he left Druid's Esports. I mean, they were like the one team that like first picked the Flux in every single game, more or less. But I guess people got used to playing versus it as well. I mean, they just picked dual stunners in the mid lane and tried to punish him early game. But still very solid hero, of course. I don't know if it works versus Parasite when he's in creeps. I don't think it does. The Flux ultimate I'm thinking about. So at least Parasite should be able to go unnoticed if he's in a creep.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit curious about that, like literally why they would want to pick up the Flux in this game in particular. I would have assumed that it would be for scouting purposes, but I don't feel like it's the best heroes to go versus. I mean, this is also curious because this means that I thought it was going to be Boxy playing Daluna, but it's actually going to be in the hands of Root of C now instead. So their BMG is going to run dual support, which we have seen many times. So it's not like anything strange with it, but it's just normally they have Root of C on a little bit of like portal key secondary support hero, something like a Fade potentially, that when he hits level 6 at least got some kind of team fight impact, but on a Luna doesn't really have that option. So it feels like BMG is just aiming for the early game here, and they're going to try to punish the greedy help or lineup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, it's something like a Magnus, more that initiating kind of hero, but Rudy Z playing the Luna here definitely has potential to be somewhat aggressive. And but we also have seen Boxy, of course, play that more of that farming Aluna. So, but yeah, they decided to put it on Root of Z. Boxy, sure enough, playing the Flux here. He will end up in the middle lane with probably, well, we'll see who he is lane partner with right now. Nobody currently is Glacius and Aluna moving towards the bottom lane, but I assume that's not going to be the case here.
I mean, they weren't able to defend their wall camp here. I mean, you can see Sane. I mean, he brought Marsters onto Behemoth. He ran straight down. He was alone, and he just boarded it up. And the two supports here from BMG, none of them have counter wards. So they're not going to be able to bring the lane back, which means the double support is going to be totally ineffective versus Behemoth, who's going to block the creep wave, as we can see right now. So they're going to have to transition, and they're going to have to run Fusen in the mid lane instead. And I would assume that Aluna would be a better choice for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Luna instead going to be at the
Oh wait, is Fusen going to go to jungle Glacius? He is.
Jungle Glacius? What?
With Ice Imprison, and he's going for the hard camp, you know, freeze, like if you're lucky you can get a Vagabond leader, a lot of gold into that, and you just, I don't know, it's like not being seen too often, because obviously in TMM and all that, I mean, you can buy Merrick's Bounty now, but in tournament mode, of course, that's not an option, and here we see that instead of going offensive with the Glaciers, he's gonna go in the forest.
Yeah.
Getting a very unfortunate camp though. Skeleton King, that's like the worst possible spawn for him.
Yeah, happens to be that, but, well, he'll take what he can get at least. And, I mean, we see right there, it is a pretty powerful synergy, of course. The Ice Imprisonment, it works pretty damn well, as you pointed out, lasting forever, doing some good damage to those creeps, and definitely allowing him to at least get a creep kill every once in a while, but I wonder if he's going to keep up with that, or probably maybe expecting to get maybe level 2, level 3 here even, and then go into the lane, or is he actually going to stay in the jungle, you think, and just instead try to just jungle here?
I don't know. I mean, it's like he didn't stack the hard camp, so I would assume that he's not going to stay in the jungle. It would be very inefficient for him, at least. He's going to rotate over here to the Hellborns or to the right side, and he is actually going to find a Vagabond leader. So good spawn for him this time at least, but I don't see that this is like, I mean, Reason Gaming, they got a Parasite. And they got so greedy lane as well as Samriff up in the top lane. Midas is getting some good experience. Then in the mid lane they got a Bubbles, which either of the two supports from BMG side, Glacius and Aluna, I'm pretty sure that they could have outboxed the Bubbles pretty well. And then we got, of course, the Behemoth rotating around now, and they're gonna try to set up a kill in the top lane, just missing.
That was close. The shards of Harkon were up. I thought for sure they were going to go off there, but no, he was able to actually elemental warp away, and it's fine. Now, the health potion is taken off there after a little bit of regen, but still, he gets enough life. He's going to be confident in being able to stand strong in the lane once again. So, good gank attempt coming out with Behemoth. Zane roaming over. Obviously, the bottom lane not really going too well for him, so figures trying to be useful elsewhere. Just about was for the Bloodlust, but unfortunately coming up short. He's going to head back towards the bottom lane now, but again, he's almost like trapped right. It's almost like Aluna knows that he was nearby and is going to keep boxing him out even, in fact, sending an illusion up here just to keep tabs on him.
I mean, it was a nice rotation from him, going up all the way to the top lane, almost getting the first spot. Of course, if Imbaboy would have been able to secure that, that would have been a big advantage for the Hellborn team. But still, I mean, I kind of talked about it a little bit. I mean, they successfully worded the pull camp. Shouldn't Behemoth be able to get experience at the bot lane if he just utilizes the Fissure and blocks the creep wave? I'm not entirely sure if that's... I think it should be, like, theoretically at least.
Yeah,
But,
I will say on his initial block, he missed the Archer. Again, I don't know if that was intended or not, but he didn't miss that, so I don't know if that kind of screwed things up at the beginning for Zane right there as far as the lane positioning goes, but it is possible. And you see once again at the top lane they're going to try, but Minus is just playing a little too safe here.
Yeah, Mac is actually doing a really good job up here at least. He's 210 gold per minute, which is quite impressive for 1 versus 2, especially since Behemoth is lurking nearby.
How about...
oh, yeah, go ahead.
There we go again. The Mana Center coming out. The Shards of Harkon. This time it will stun, and down goes Make there. Bloodlust kill in favor of Imbaboy. So they were really adamant about getting this Bloodlust kill up here. It eventually does actually come through about 3.5 minutes in. The Mana Sunder, obviously the biggest steal of that kill. Without that, I don't know if they would have gotten it once again. Preventing him from getting it.
Well played, definitely, from Zane's side. Just showing his incredible patience right there. And he's going to rotate over to the mid lane as well. I don't think that they are going to have enough damage to actually bring down the Flux unless Parasite rotates over as well and helps them out. But I'm so curious about the whole laning situation from BMG's side. I just don't see it making any sense having Glacius and Aluna as the supports. I mean, Root of Sea is stuck in level 1 now. Sure, he's stuck in the forest, but Darkblade is far away from your rune tags, and Glacius is not necessarily going to be able to farm the camps on his own. I mean, he got Ice Imprisonment, which is great for one target. Actually, Flux, that's a beautiful block in the mid lane.
Yeah, Flux in a lot of trouble here. He really could not do anything about that. He just simply had to accept death right there, holding his ground. But obviously that block from Zane coming out just basically made a point that there was no way he was getting away right there. And obviously Sandwraith even happening to come in for the assist on top of that. So how about Imbaboy, man? Over 400 gold per minute already. I was also going to bring up before that first kill even, but he actually went the bottle here early on in this game for a short lane Sandwraith. I was wondering what you thought about that.
I definitely see the point for the reasoning for it. Obviously, that picked up a kill there for him as well, seeing as he rotated to the mid lane, which is beautifully. I don't see any other team where the hard carry is actually rotating to the mid to set up a kill like that. But I mean, it's obviously because Midas is already level 5. There's a lot of pressure put on Samref, and he just wants to secure those levels for now. And of course, free farming. So Bottle is going to help him do that. And seeing as Tankafet didn't go for a Bottle either on the Parasite, the top lane or the top rune is just going to be secured for him every single time. So I like it. Yeah. I like it a lot.
All right, so it seems like it is working out pretty damn well for him, allowing him to kind of spam out that Desert's Curse ability pretty aggressively too. Minus, despite that death, he is actually level 6 and even a level advantage over Sandwraith right here for the time being. As I say that, Sandwraith hits level 6 as well, so now has his Mirage. We'll see if that comes into play. You like to think that's the idea at least, but look at this. Glacius coming up here with a Veiled Rot. Now, there's a lot of heroes, though, from the Hellborn side, so this could be a risky move. They're going to go for the kill, but the Mirage used by Imbaboy. He ports into another one, but he's going to be caught still, actually, but no, he helps set up some turn kills because here comes that supporting cast as the Vagabond, or the Catman champion more so, from Parasite coming in. The leech, the auto attack, it will finish off Midas, and now Glacius, he's on the run, but not on the run for much longer. One more auto attack will do him in, as Imbaboy actually gets credit for the kill right there, so well played. And we all of a sudden have a 4-0 start now for Reason Gaming as far as hero kills go.
So incredibly well played by Imbaboy once again. He's using the Mirage instantly, teleporting to the nearest target, not to waste any time, and therefore dodging the Midas combo. And now in the mid lane, Flux is in trouble. I don't think they have enough damage quite yet, but Tankafet is running in, and once again, block from Zane, this guy.
Yeah, he is on top of these fissure blocks, man, and again, I constantly talk about it. As far as just mechanically sound players, it seems like Zane is most certainly up there on that list. He's been there for a while. He just quietly does his own thing, it seems like, and does it so well at the same time. So yeah, setting up another kill. Meanwhile, though, we do see Baltazar. I almost kind of forgot about them, and I kind of feel like the Hellborn team may have a little bit too, because he's 455 gold per minute, and he gets a free tower kill bottom. So that is a little bit of concern, despite this good play so far. But as I say that, the block, what the hell was that? That was the funkiest charging strike ever.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, I guess he's going to be fine. Somehow.
Yes, he is.
That's hilarious.
Fortunately, that's what happens at times. Yeah, they didn't have the kill field on Bubble, so I don't think they would have been able to get a kill, even if that weren't or wouldn't have occurred right there. So in the end, I don't think it would change anything.
Yeah.
I think the BMG would have been in a really good spot if they just had some levels, or if they actually had a little bit more of a greedy support. But now, since the laning phase is going to end, I don't feel like there's going to be enough support to just keep this Dark Lady alive in the team fights. Like, there's nobody who's going to be able to like lock down the enemy team if they get, oh wait, Milo's at the top lane, it's going to be initiated on.
Yeah, speaking of lockdown, you know, I was seeing people bring up the point too that not banning a Moira, especially when you plan a first pick on Midas, it's pretty risky. And we're kind of seeing why right here. Moira's fantastic against a hero like Midas. It has basically 2 ways to really lock him down. Obviously, the Shards of Harkon, but of course the Mana Center, and that is coming into play now. It's setting up 2 kills easily on him here at the top lane. He's died 3 times in total, so that is a little bit of concern. As I say, that Sand Wraith, he's porting somewhere. He goes to Luna, it looks like, actually. Quick set from Luna. He actually pulled in from Flux, but Sand Wraith was stunned at the time. Actually didn't get pulled right there, and now he's going to be able to make the getaway. Meanwhile, Massera snipes the kill onto a Luna as he ports on through, and he's going to TP out in the process. So it is just Reason Gaming. They are just so active right now, and it is paying off big time. 7-0 hero kill lead. For being up 7-0, though, I feel like the lead isn't as big as you may expect it to be.
No, I definitely agree. It just comes down to Dark Lady doing a lot of job. But, I mean, the Hellborn team has also invested a lot of time into just making the rotations, right rotations, while BMG is just statically farming all the lanes. So in that way, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Kelpfield is going to be up once more in the mid lane here. No, never mind. I'm just kidding. It's not going to be up.
Oh no, yeah, that's Seltzer. 60 seconds though on that Kelpfield here, but yeah, Dark Lady again. She's kind of the reason as to why they're down 7-0, but they're only about 1,500 gold down or so, 3,000 experience right now. What was that actually? Samurai just killed something at the tower. I don't know what he dropped.
I don't think it was anything valuable. I mean, it definitely wasn't a bottle or anything like that. It must have been either a Word of Sight. No, wait, why would he kill a Word of Sight? He wouldn't pick it up.
It was probably a regen of sorts that he had on him, possibly. Like a health potion or something, yeah. So maybe not a huge deal, but a little funky there.
I think the Dark Lady would have been so good versus all the Hellborn heroes if just, I mean, obviously he's not that great versus Behemoth unless he's got a Shrunken Head activated in the team fight, but other than that, like, I feel like he does pretty well versus the Hellborn team. I mean, Bubbles and Parasite rather squishy, and Legion team, Midas, no, it's gonna be fine. But, like, they just don't have any team fight whatsoever on the Legion side, and running the dual support means that you want to commit 100% to at least dominating 2 lanes. Because you don't have a 4-0, so you're going to fall behind as soon as the laning phase ends unless you keep the pressure up. But BMG, like, they had 2 very, very early game supports that really brings nothing whatsoever to the late game. Mm-hmm. And they just ran it statically in the forest. I mean, forest glaciers. So even if Dark Lady, yeah, it's gonna
wow, that worked out beautifully. Ran up with the shockwave. I was gonna say, and actually hold that thought, because Midas gets caught by Bubbles in the meantime. He will go down as well. Flux with the pull in. They're trying to stop Bubbles right here. They will successfully do so, but he has a shell serve in 4 seconds. It's not gonna matter. Flux eventually able to chase him down for the kill, so at least a counter kill coming out right there. But I was gonna say that damage that the shockwave did from Behemoth was a lot to Dark Lady, and there weren't really a whole lot of creeps nearby. But now I see why. He did max out his heavyweight first. In fact, he doesn't even have Enrage yet on top of that. But that proved to really guarantee the kill in that case. On to Dark Lady. He just walked right up to him. So well played right there. And securing a big kill on the Dark Lady at the bottom lane.
Certainly did. That's actually that's actually something that a lot of players should look into. Just maxing heavyweight over the Fissure at times. Because, sure, the Fissure is great, but the amount of damage the Shockwave does if you have a maxed out heavyweight in the early game, it's insane, as we could see right there in that situation. I've seen it a lot as well when you run Behemoth in, like, tri-lanes, defensive tri-lanes, and you're not going to get a lot of levels, so you have to max out the heavyweight every single time. So as soon as you hit level 6, you're at least going to have that. I mean, he's going to reach a 4-key here in the near future, but seeing as he doesn't have too much level, seeing as he's been running around constantly, just rotating between the lanes, setting up kills, this is a really smart move, just to utilize that 4-key full effect as soon as he gets it.
Yeah, and also, Strider's on top of a Blood Chalice, so he's got a solid core going, too, and actually he's taking out a triple stack right here. I think he may actually have the portal key coming out of the pause here. finishing off the stack. May need to go to one more camp on top of this, but he's pretty much going to have it about 13 minutes or so in this game. And for a suicide behemoth that found himself roaming really right from the beginning, very, very good news for Reason Gaming. But I just can't help but go back to the fact that now a 9-1 Hero Kill lead, it just seems like Reason Gaming's been so dominant overall in the big picture, yet it's not a huge gap once again. I mean, it definitely is growing. Obviously, the kill onto Dark Lady, it was a big deal and definitely slowed down her Rune Claver, but she's back up, working towards it. But Flux is another hero that's kind of stepping up now a bit. It looks like he's going to be going that Insanitarius, of course, and that's going to be of influence here for the Legion side and some good damage output that they could be using here. So it's going to be another target that they need to address here in the near future. They've already addressed plenty of the Midas, though. He's not really a factor right now for BMG.
Parasite is closing in on the puzzle box though, and when he gets that, Flux got a relatively low mana pool, being a strength hero and all. And I feel like if there's, put him or put one of the puzzle box on Flux in the team fights and the Mortar runs off the Dark Lady, I simply don't feel like the Legion team is going to be able to make anything happen in those team fights. It's tough to say, but I don't know. I just feel like the draft is so weird from BMG's side. I feel like Boxy as well. I mean, he's doing great here on Flux. 350 gold per minute. Not going to take anything away from him. But I feel like he should be on a little bit more of a... how should I put it? A skill capped hero or like a high skill cap hero? Something that like that Kinesis, as we saw Recent Gaming ban or blind ban in this game number 1. Something that can just make kills happen all over the map. As we have seen, the Riptide, for example, worked out beautifully for him. Sure, he can get some farm on the Flux, but he's still going to need a team support to set up kills. He cannot do it solo.
Yeah. So Behemoth, the Portal Key, as said, it's going to be happening here as he's coming out, finishing off that triple stack camp right there, and going to be picking that up. Puzzle Box is finished on Parasite in the meantime. So some pretty good, solid items coming out for the early game here for Reason Gaming at this timing here. But Sandwraith with the Energizer, the Steam Boots, again, a very aggressive build. Mirage is going to be up in 15 seconds. So definitely look, I mean, this is all going to time out pretty well. Because like I said, we got some big items and then the Mirage coming off cooldown right here. You got to think Reason Gaming is going to be going for a kill here within the next minute or so. And
it's probably going to be a smoke up here by Behemoth as well. I would assume actually he's a little bit close. Yeah, he's actually going to purchase it. He's going to sell his TP and he's going to smoke up and head to the bot lane. I mean, if they get a kill here on Dark Lady, then it's so grim for Battle Gaming. If they somehow can scout this, but even so, I mean, Flux Ultimate does not reveal the Veiled Rot to target either. So it's going to be so tricky to actually stop this if you're the Legion team right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, Behemoth got a pull key, so it doesn't even matter if he gets scouted out by Dark Lady, he's still just going to be able to jump him.
Here we go.
Here goes the Parasite with the Skeleton King. No vision whatsoever from the Legion side.
Oh! The reactions of Baltazar! Well, he's still going to get caught, though. Wow. I mean, they're still able to chase him. That's pretty crazy, but it's going to come at a cost, maybe? Yep, Sandwraith is just bursted down. He almost like he teleported somewhere. He just got quickly killed. But no, he did get taken out. So it is eye for an eye, a carry for a carry. However, a support maybe on top of that as, the Luna hung around a little too long. Root of Sea ends up getting picked, and it does make it a 2-for-1 officially. So, yeah, what a reaction from Baltazar initially, figuring he tried to use it to get away right there, and it almost worked. But unfortunately, just a little too close still.
It would have been hilarious if it was yet another one of those a little bit bugged up charges right there happening.
Yeah.
Another fish or a shockwave. Not the case though, but even, I mean, I don't know what Imba Boy or why he poured it in. I didn't see him pour it in, I saw him drop afterwards. So a carry for a carry, but even so, I mean, Recent Gaming is more than happy with that because the 4 heroes on the Hellborn side, if you look away from the carry or if you don't count the carry, then like the heroes from the Hellborn side is just going to be able to provide so much more than the Legion team is. They are 100% in on the Dark Lady. If he goes down, they are not going to have enough damage, they're not going to have any setup, they're not going to be able to bring it out in the late game, so they really need to secure the farm to the Dark Lady right now. And yeah, they are not really pulling it off. Even though they had a dual support at the bot lane and this defensive tri-lane, Dark Lady is stuck on 360 gold per minute, 50 minute in.
Yeah, it's definitely the impact of her. It seemed like it was snowballing early on. It definitely was. In fact, upwards of 450, I want to say GPM, even at a point. But obviously has gone downhill a bit since then. Now the 2 deaths, of course, doing the slowing down that you like to see if you're Reason Gaming at least. Now, Parasite, he almost got caught in a bad spot right there, but takes over the Vulture Lord and just walks away. Has 4 heroes essentially chasing him down, so pretty good time waster right there from Parasite, and also taking out some resources that Dark Lady was no doubt looking to get right there. In the meantime, Boy, by the way, has another 1,700 gold saved up. And I know the last time he played Sandwraith, I want to say he went that Mock of Brilliance, so something tells me we're going to see similar thing here, if not the exact same, of course.
Oh, Behemoth is up here, by the way. He's going to jump Midas first, but back to the BMG side.
But Flux is there, too. Pulls them in. The Glacial Downpour. Down goes Behemoth. They did kill Midas, but it's also going to be a counter kill on to Dark Lady, or excuse me, to Sandwraith right there. So a 2-for-1 in favor of the Legion side. More as Illusion getting there just too late in the end. So, yeah, Zane jumped first, and it backfired as the TP support was there. And that was the point all along. So definitely kind of baiting out right there in the end. The BMG.
And Legion team was just about to set up a kill on their own onto Sandwraith when Behemoth jumps in onto Midas. Unfortunately, Maki didn't make it out alive, but that could have been great for the Legion team. It still ended up great for them, but they're going to need a lot more. Or they're going to have to make those Veiled Rot gangs over and over again. Until Dark Lady is strong enough to take on the Hellborn team. And she's going to need at least a Whistle Skull and a Shrunken Head before she can do so. Potentially even the Firebrand.
Yeah.
When she hit those 4 items, I think that they could be in a relatively decent spot, depending on how much farm, of course, Hellborn team is going to get. But up here at the top lane, Flux on the Invis is going to go for Sandwraith once again, and you can see how squishy it is.
Oh no! Or freaking Baltazar, I guess, yeah, they really couldn't chase him, though, because of the tree, so just figured it was best to simply farm the creeper. I feel like Flux almost went a little too early right there, too, because Darkwood is very slow to come in. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they can't deny the tower, as it was a little too much pressure. Flux and Midas both being here, unable to do so. And now, actually, Parasite coming back in with the Hellcan. And Midas in a bad spot. He's going to be caught with the Shell Surf. And the Song of the Sea and Maki will get taken out. So Midas, he thought he was actually going to be fine to get away, but he was not. Ends up going down. So that was a bad sequence of events right there. Coming out for the Legion side, unfortunately. But active play continues from Recent Gaming, as you'd expect.
That it sure does. Yeah, Recent Gaming is just playing so well all around the map. Sane especially, definitely have been the MVP so far of this game. He's setting up all the right kills. And he's closing in on that level 11 now as well. I would assume Shockwave just finished, or just went off cooldown as well. So I would assume the Hellborn team now, with Sandwraith heading back to base with the Mirage up, are going to try to set something up here in the mid lane. Potentially. Flux is not really the target that you want to jump, though. If you jump him, it could backfire big time. But they are Parasite. Where is he? He's actually standing on top of a Warrior from Root of Sea. BMG potentially could try to bait this, but are they really strong enough to take a team fight at this point?
Well,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, they are in the middle right here between the towers. They definitely know something is up. Obviously, the Lucian's also going to be spotted right here. As you pointed out, though, the Warder side spotting it. But here we go. Bubble's going to jump in first. And, yep, Dark Lady bursted right off the bat. There is a 5-second stun on a Parasite from Aluna, but it just doesn't matter. It's going to be cleanup crew for Recent Gaming. Down goes Flux, maybe? Okay, yeah, he will eventually fall. And they also get to Midas in the Arcane Vortex. Everybody joining the party. And Midas trying to Elemental Warp out. He actually gets a kill before he does go down into his grave right there. But it's a 4-for-1 exchange in favor of the Hellborn side. In fact, is that a genocide? No, I guess Baruzi did survive, but yeah, that was the thing. That's what you're calling out, basically. It's like, did they actually really want to fight, even though they knew? And they set it up like they kind of were interested. They just simply got jumped before they were ready at that point.
Yeah, it just shows drafting-wise, there's not much they can do. Like, even if they're all there, even if there are 5 people ready, like, there's just nothing they can do for the help or from the Hellborn or to win those team fights. Like, okay, sure, you can use the Flux ultimate, but then what? Like, what do you follow that up with? An Aluna stun on all of them? Like, that's not going to work. Like, it's just not. And there's nothing else. Like, Midas is not going to be able to combo. I mean, it takes some time for his combo to be landed, and yeah, that's just, I don't know. The draft from BMG sides is very, very questionable in this game, unfortunately. It's not working out, at least, the plan that they had in mind.
Yeah.
They simply... They had a Glacius for a Parasite. Like, that was the idea. They didn't utilize him to win a lane. They just had him in the forest, and just ran him as a forester. And, well, certainly didn't pay off at all. Now there is a Mock. onto Imboboy, on the Tenrip. So his farm is just gonna skyrocket from here. And sure, Midas just picked up a bulky, but still, I mean, who is he going to set it up with?
Well, and again, the other thing is that they're going up against Sandwraith, especially now with the Mach. So the idea of a portal key, it's almost nerfed, or it is nerfed quite a bit on top of that. Parasite, by the way, trying to find a kill on the Glacius. Oh my god, it's actually going to backfire right there. He goes down, but Sandwraith also coming in, but now Sandwraith dropping low. He tries to go for the Fidget Stone with that Desert's Curse. That's not going to be enough, though. That's a big turn coming out for the Legion side. Well, kind of, because Darkling is picked off in the background. Bubbles coming in. The Mauler explodes right there, and Flux does fall. So it actually looked like the Legion team might have had something going there in BMG, but they did not. Bubbles and Behemoth especially coming to clean up and take care of business. So sure, they both lost a carry, but Reason Gaming not too disappointed with the outcome of that exchange right there in the end. So once again, winning another fight, now up 21-7 in hero kills. The Shrunken Head, it's still being delayed now on this Dark Lady, unfortunately, and she really, really needs that before you think they have a chance actually in these fights. She's dropping too quickly.
Potentially, yeah, they could potentially make something happen with the Shrunken Head, but at the same time, I don't feel like they have enough lockdown to actually make it happen. Behemoth gonna jump in the mid laner, that's a dead Midas. Like, look at that. It's Shockwave. Yes, it deals an incredible amount of damage right there. And Mora is actually gonna find Glacius. Didn't use the Arcane Vortex though.
Chose not to. Didn't want to waste it. I guess the team support wasn't necessarily chasing after him either, so not a point in using the cooldown. If not going to get the kill, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, you do see Glacius. He even went the Astrolabe here on the Power Supply. So, yeah, he is definitely playing like that secondary support, trying to at least. But it obviously is not really working out too well in the end for this Legion side. And, again, it does go back to the draft here and how it just didn't necessarily come together, whatever the plan was. But didn't work out. His bottom lane, Flux. I don't think he even realized how close he was to actually being jumped right there and taken out, but he falls back in time, so that's fine.
Yeah, Dark Lady just used their leap at the top lane, by the way. I'm not sure if they probably don't have enough damage now, and Team P support would probably be nearby as well, but they are thinking about it.
Thinking it before it comes off cooldown. There we go. Look at the shards that Harkon applied as he ports in the Mana Sunder as well.
Damn,
it prevents it. Yeah. That was very well played.
I've never seen it used in that way before. You use it on the center, then he ports in with the Mirage and gets the stun off. Yeah. Follow it up with the Mana Drain. Like, wow, Near and Imboboy. Shout out to them.
Just strong synergy right there, man. That is some strong synergy, no doubt, with the shards applying and then porting it with the illusion. But yeah, Dark Lady, the struggles are real. 0-5-3. I mean, this is a Dark Lady, again, that got that bottom tower push early on, 450 gold per minute. It seemed like BMG was actually going to... But it's like, right as we mentioned that, it's like, that was the one thing that, Reason hasn't addressed yet, so that's worrisome. Oh, never mind. They've now killed her 5 times in a row. Here we are at the 23.5-minute mark about, so... Yeah, she still hasn't finished the Shrunken Head. She hasn't finished her follow-up item to the Rune Cleaver yet at this point in the game, and that's never a good sign if you have the Dark Lady on your side.
Even if she gets it at this point, both Masera and Sane has chosen to go for, or both Bubbles and Behemoth has chosen to go for the Void Talisman as well. So if he were to jump the Behemoth for the Bubbles, like Void Talisman, obviously the silence is not going to affect the items, and voila, there's nothing that the Dark Lady can do. And of course, as soon as he uses the charge, he's not going to be able to swap to another target, because there is no lockdown necessarily in the leading team.
Oh, more?
So there we go. Yeah, Veiled Rot Gank at least, but it's on top of a ward. I wonder if Reason Gaming paid attention to that. They could have potentially seen it with his ward side placed here by Near, just ran out. I don't think they actually saw it happening.
Yeah.
It was just on the minimap.
Well, here they go up here, but, I mean, you see the top of the map right now. Nobody there for the Hellborn side. In fact, Samwraith going back to the base. He's buying a Homecoming Stone. He might have bought... Okay, yeah, he did get the Firebrand. I was going to say, he definitely should have something else here, so... Firebrand purchase for him now on the way to, very possible, a Geometer's Bane. We'll see if he goes that route or maybe the Frostburn into eventually splitting up, but... at this point, I think he could choose whatever and be fine, because, yeah, he's obviously been a huge impact. In fact, 23% hero damage down. That explains it, as he's going to go again. He ports to the middle lane. Nope, never mind. He ports over here to secure the kill on a Midas.
And they're going to find Dark Lady as well. in the
There's that
Hellborn
right there.
Forest.
Okay, yeah, he put up to Dark Lady. That's what it was. First I finished off the Midas, and Dark Lady ends up going down right there, the Arcane Vortex, to keep her in play. So, I mean, I don't really know how much longer BMG is going to insist on trying to make something happen in this game, but when your carry just has died this many times in a row without getting his next item, you just got to think that the chances are basically slim to nothing here. So, and that really is the case. I mean, hell, Moira already has a portal key and another 1,300 gold saved up. We're talking about the main support on the side of Recent Gaming over here. So that, and along with many of things, tells a story here of where this
That it
game's
sure
at.
does. If this was the opposite way around, if Hellborn team actually were the team that was behind, then I could definitely see the reasoning for staying behind in the game. Actually, something is going to happen in mid lane. Never mind. I'm not sure. Release was used by the Flux as well, but nothing's going to come out of it. Or Discharge, I mean, was used.
What do you what do you think about Void Talisman? I feel like we've been seeing it honestly a bit more in general lately, and we see it here actually. Behemoth and Bubbles both picking up a Void Talisman.
Yeah, I personally love the item. I think it's so underrated, especially since the change when they changed up the components that were needed. Now you need a major totem, so like you could potentially turn it into both a tablet of command and a Void Talisman, of course. So every support choice more or less is a tablet of command to start things up as well. And versus the Dark Lady, of course, great tool.
Yeah. It seems like, again, it's been getting a lot more attention. In fact, I did have Insanity on the other day, and okay, there you go. That's always one of those funny just concede moments. It's like, you know what? We just realized, yeah, this game's over. Let's concede. I mean, I think, yeah, go ahead.
I think I think the idea behind BMG not conceding was just that they hope for Recent Gaming to go for the push. They hope for them to overcommit a little bit, so they sticked into it. But obviously, Recent Gaming is not that kind of team. Experience or history has definitely shown us that. They're just constantly just falling back, not taking any risks. So BMG, yeah, gonna call it. But real nice execution from the Hellborn side. Definitely feels like Masera is working out pretty well as replacement for Olmi since he left for Sync Esports. 400 playing the bubbles here, 10, 2, and 4. But yeah, in general, just I think it came down to the draft. I gotta be honest and just say that I do not think that dual support worked out for BMG whatsoever. I'm not entirely sure what the idea was or what they wanted to get out of that, but not working out. So hopefully for game number 2, they put in a little bit more of those skill-capped heroes for Boxy and Maki as well. Like I remember back in the days, at least when they were playing Hunter Season 3, and then like Boxy was obviously playing Suicide rather than the mid, but we have seen that he can place Kinesis and those Suicide heroes in the mid as well, so I feel like they should utilize that a little bit more. And I know that Maki can play heroes like Madman and those heroes as well that has a high skill cap and can be a lot tricky just to run around the map, so I would love to see something from that from BMG in next game.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think this came down to a lot of matchups here, which in essence kind of comes down to the draft, and most certainly from Fusin here, and making a couple mistakes, but definitely credit to Immaboy with that said. You know, the captain, of course, of the drafter, even for Reason came in that, you know, drafted very well on the other side of the spectrum, and clearly had the stronger team, and ultimately leading to a victory here. So, game number 1, going to Reason Gaming. We'll see what happens in game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. On Tour Season 4, Cycle 1. Group stage coverage coming at you. This is our day 6, our final day here of the group stages.